Hey guys, welcome in this new video. I hope that all of you are doing great. In today's video, I want to talk about a very interesting tip that can improve your trading. So let's actually get right into it. Just before I start, as always, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you do that. You can also leave a like under the video. I would truly appreciate it. So what is this tip that could dramatically improve your trading if you understand it to the fullest? So let me share that with you guys. So to illustrate what I'm talking about, I will, just tell you guys an example, and after that you will see what I mean. So let's say that you are in a trade, right? You took a buy or you took a sell, whatever. You are in a trade. Let's say that this trade starts to go against you. Well, human nature will tell you that you need to hope for the loss to not get bigger and to come back and break even. That is human nature. You will get into a loss and you will start to hope that the loss will not get bigger, and you will also hope that it will get smaller. All right. Now the opposite is also true. So let's say you take a trade and let's say that it starts to go in your direction. Well, most people have a big trouble with taking their profits too early. It goes a little up and they take profit. They don't let the trade run to their target, and that is because, once again, of human nature. They fear not making profit on that trade that initially went into their direction, right? So they take a trade, it goes well, they get some profit, and they want to get out of the trade because they fear that the trade will, start to go against them and that they will not make profit. So you see, in both sides of the market, in both sides of your trade, actually, well, human nature is actually playing against you. And that is why most people fail in trading. It's because it's actually hard on a biological level. It's actually hard to be a trader because you have to do things that go against your nature and your instinct, right? And one thing that is important to understand, when we talk about evolution, well, humans are pretty much exactly the same as they were 20,000 years ago, right? We're not that different. Of course, we did evolve a little bit, but our core instinct, our core principle, our core emotions, fear, greed, and all of these things, they are all pretty much similar than the people that we were 20,000 years ago, as I said. So it's really important to understand that on a biological level and from a standpoint of evolution, we are not designed to be traders. All right. So when you become a trader, you are basically going against your own nature, and that is a really hard step to achieve and to eventually succeed at, right? Because it's not physically normal to do this. So when you get to a point where you fully understand the human nature and the evolution, as I said, well, it becomes already a little easier, but it is still hard, right? Because as we said, well, it's nature. So if you go against your own nature, well, of course, you will probably face some obstacles along the way, right? So the greatest thing that you can achieve in this sphere is the opposite of what I described at the beginning of the video. So when you take a trade and when it gets into a loss, instead of hoping that the loss will not get bigger and that it will get smaller, you should fear that the loss will get bigger, right? You should fear that the loss will get bigger, and when your trade goes in your direction, when your trade goes into profit, you should hope that the profit gets bigger, right? So remember, at the beginning, it was the opposite that I described, right? Most people, when the trade goes into a loss, they hope that it gets smaller, and when it goes into a profit, they fear that it gets smaller as well, right? So here it's the opposite that you have to do and that you have to become good at and that you have to master. When it goes into a loss, you need to fear for it to get bigger, and when it goes into a profit, you need to hope for it to get bigger, right? You see, it's the complete opposite, and as I said, it's not easy because it goes against your own nature. It goes against the core principles of evolutions and why we are still there on the earth living, right? This is where humans still exist, because we have core principles that humans have lived according to, during thousands of years, and that enabled them to survive in their environment. But what you guys have to understand is that our environment today is much different than it was before, right? And you know, before it was normal to fear, for example, because, well, if you were in the jungle and you faced a lion, well, you had to fear, otherwise the lion would kill you, right? So it was normal and it was a good thing to have those fear, those greeds, because they were basically helping you to survive. But in today's world, it's not the same anymore. And so those instincts that we still have within us, very, very, very deep, well, they are not really helpful for us, right? They even sometimes play against you, for example, in trading. So I think that it's really important for you to understand, you know, those instincts, those core principles related to evolution, and there, from there, you can basically just grow and try to distance yourself as much as possible from those principles, right? And so one of the main mistakes I think as well a lot of people do is they think that they can like erase completely those principles, right? They can like remove all fear from their person. That is impossible. Impossible. It is your nature. You cannot remove those emotions. But what you can do is learn how to control them, right? You can control them, and you can basically, to a certain extent, not let them affect you and your own trading. And that in itself, if you are able to master the human part that, you know, I described it in this video, it could dramatically help you in your trading. So I know that this was not the, you know, the most like fun video, and maybe like even a little boring, we could say. My point here was not to make it crazy or to be excited or whatever. This is a more serious educational video, we could say. And yeah, so I hope that you guys, you know, enjoyed this video and that you learned something from it. As I said, I know not that many people will watch this video because, you know, most people prefer when I do vlogs and things like that, and when it's moving and when I, you know, show my trades, my profit, blah blah blah. But yeah, those educational videos, you know, seem a little less attractive, and I understand why, you know, because, you know, most people just want to, you know, to be entertained rather than, you know, focus really on learning and, you know, the human nature, we could say. All right, but for those of you guys that are still watching this video, well, I hope that you did learn something from it and that you enjoyed it. If you did, please share the video. I would truly appreciate it, and you can also leave a like under it. That would mean a lot to me. All right, so on that, take care, trade with care, manage money well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.